Welcome to my weekly self-important Magic the Gathering show. Today we have cards in disguise as other cards. It's Transformers. There are quite a few, so this is going to be split into multiple episodes. I don't, I don't know how I want to split these up. I kind of want to do Autobots and Decepticons, so let's just start with Nurse Ratchet. That is a movie reference for those unaware. It's, I believe it's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I guess it's also a book reference, sorry. I watched the movie because it had Jack Nicholson in it. So we have most of the cards in this deck, but not all of the cards in the deck. So let's see what I put in the deck. I think a lot of these decks have a lot of the same cards in them to base. So let's just see where we go. So we have Ratchet, Field Medic. 2 and a white for a 2/4 legendary artifact creature robot with more than meets the eye, which means you can cast it for this side for 1 and a white. Ratchet has lifelink. I really like this art treatment. I don't know the lore of this shattered glass treatment. It might be some kind of alternate universe or something. I have no idea what's going on. There's so much Transformers I don't know. I just watched the 80s toy commercial when I was a kid. That's the only one I'm wholly familiar with. I think I saw the first is it Michael Bay Transformers movie and was like, I don't really like what he's doing with this, because I was a fan of a lot of the Decepticon designs, but while they got the Autobot designs correct in the movies, the Decepticons all look super generic, which I guess sort of makes sense, sort of, but I missed being able to tell everyone apart. So anyway, lifelink, and whenever you gain life, you may convert Ratchet. Convert means you just flip it over. They used a very special word because that is the trademarked word for Transformers because you convert from robot to vehicle. You do not. They're called Transformers, but the process from which they go from robot to not robot is called conversion. Sure, why not? Whenever you gain life, you may convert Ratchet. When you do, return target artifact card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you gained this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay. That's interesting. So this guy, at base power, can return mana rocks from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You know, things with mana value too. Oh, and I guess the boots, the greaves, not much else. Oh, wait, is it less than or equal to? So it can also get us some other, like, smaller artifacts, like the Soul Ring. So we have our Soul Ring. I picked the Final Fantasy VI one because I feel like, because you could say that this piece of magicite either looks... Well, it kind of looks like the Matrix of Leadership, sort of, or at least a little light on the inside of it. Or you can also say it's a form of Energon. You know, whatever. That works too. I could pick a different... I picked this one originally just because it's the one from Final Fantasy VI, just to be from the same game as the other one. But I think I'm going to go with this from, I think that's 14. Yeah, because that's 7, that's 10. This has got to be 14. We're just doing weird, we're just doing whatever visuals make sense to us. Even though that's a human hand and not a robot hand. Cold Steel Heart, waifu. That feels like a Matrix of Leadership reference, or also kind of an Energon-y looking thing right there. Doesn't matter. Not everything has to make sense. Oh, I have this organized by type and not by tag. Well, that's interesting. We'll have to fix that later. Endless Atlas, we're on a monocolor deck, and I picked this art from 40k because planets. There's not really much you can do with a Felwar stone, so I just picked this classic one. Again, I do like the brown border artifacts. And you could say this is Energon related if we really need to tie everything to the theme, which we don't. Same thing with the diamond, like gems and stuff. Mind Stone because it's a robot. This version of Prowl Medallion, it really is just the closest thing to something that feels like it fits. We're not going to do that with everything. The All Spark, that's from the Secret Lair. And it's the doubling cube, where you pay 3, tap, double the amount of each type of unspent mana you have. There's probably not a whole lot of times that this is going to matter. Not in a mono white deck, but, you know. The Iron Crag is in here. Mildly a reference to that one Michael Bay Transformers movie where they were talking about knights and stuff. I didn't watch that one. This Thought Vessel kind of reminds me of the Allspark. Though I could have done a different one, I believe, as well. I could have done this Thought Vessel from 40k. It's $150 more. And that kind of could be a Decepticon. Which I believe it's a Necron. I believe... Yep, Necrons. So we'll do that one instead. Also because it's not foil. Mystic Forge. It does let us cast artifacts from... and colorless spells from the top of our library. And this particular art, even though it's a forge, kind of reminds me of... Wait, what? Now I have to go back. I did this, but honestly, well, no, I did this for the, we'll see it in later. I did this one for the Decepticons because it reminds me of their space bridge. So the Mystic Forge was the last thing I looked at. I could probably take this one out, but I like the idea of casting artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of our library. The Aether Spark also looks like the Matrix of Leadership. The Wind Crystal could be more Energon. And also, you know, makes our white spells cast for less. Foundry Inspector makes our artifacts cost for less, and it is an artifact creature. Liberator, the Battlethopter. This does just remind me of some of the dumber toys. Even though this definitely has more of a He-Man feel than a Transformers feel. The Shimmer Mirror casts our artifacts as though they had flash. This guy, artifacts cast for cheaper. And then Prowl gets his own deck, but because he's mono white, he can appear in this deck. What does Prowl do? We may as well say it now so we don't have to say it later. He's 3 and a white for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature robot. More than meets the eye for did I forget to... I wasn't trying to drag. Did I forget to read the backside? Whenever one or more non-token artifacts you control are put into the graveyard from the battlefield, convert Ratchet. Okay. So, so this side is a 1/4 with living metal, which means it's a creature on our turns, but not on the opponent's turns. It also still has lifelink, and whenever one or more non-token artifacts you control are put into the graveyard, you turn Ratchet back into the robot. So for 2 and a white, we can flip it over into the cop car. Other than his red eyes, he actually looks kind of normal. In this flip universe, are the Autobots the bad guys? Because that's purple. Someone's, like, I could look it up, but I don't feel like it. But I want people to put it in the comments. I'm mildly interested in this. Whenever Prowl attacks, exile up to one other target tapped creature or vehicle. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. So, you know, it detains them. Well, it doesn't detain them because that's a very specific magic mechanic. But, like, you are arresting them, but they can just pay their mana value as bail to get out. Whenever a player plays a card that's exiled, with Prowl, we draw a card, and Prowl turns into the cop car side. Which is, whenever another creature or vehicle enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Prowl. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, convert Prowl. Prowl's pretty cool. Then we have Solemn. I picked this particular one because it kind of looks like a generic Transformer thing. Like, maybe he doesn't have... Like, was it in some of the newer cartoons where they're like, you have to have a Transformer thing installed on you to transform, otherwise you can't? I haven't seen that one, but I've, like, heard stuff from it. Like, he could be like that, a pre-Transformer kind of dude. And then we have Optimus Prime, because it's an Autobot deck. Megatron isn't in this deck, because this is an Autobot deck. And, of course, this is just Darksteel Colossus. Trample, indestructible. If it goes into the graveyard for any reason, you shuffle it back into your library. Then we have True Conviction. This is from the Secret Lair. And this scene is from the 1980s Transformers movie. Boy, I don't remember who that is. This guy's name is like Mug or Cup? Is his name Cup? I feel like I should know who this is. Because I feel like he was in the show all the time, but this is Hot Rod. Although, and that's the Matrix of Leadership, so I think... Oh, he was Rodimus Prime when he had the Matrix of Leadership. This isn't actually a very good thing, because it's a do-nothing enchantment, but creatures we control have double strike and lifelink, so it does help work with our commander, because whenever you gain life. But we have to have stuff go in our graveyard, so I don't know how much of that we actually have. And then let's see. So we have this Swords to Plowshares from Fallout. And that's like the super armor, but it still kind of could be a Transformer. The Robot Swords to Plowshares, also from Fallout. Unwanted Remake. This is just a funny card in any Universes Beyond deck that can put it in. So, thank you, Duskmorn. Bovine Intervention is merely in here because it's a mono white removal spell that I like to use. This Disenchant, it's the most on flavor of any Disenchant. Fateful Absence isn't really on flavor as far as the look goes. Neither is Heliod's Intervention, but or Parting Gust. But sometimes you're just, or Generous Gift for that matter, or Memories of Nibelheim, or Settle the Wreckage. But like, I wanted removal in my deck, and these are good removal cards. Then we have, now we're on to our lands. So this is Adagia, Windswept Bastion. It's a planet. It enters taps for white, and it has Station, which means you can tap a creature you control to put charge counters on this land equal to the power of that creature. And once there are 12 counters on it, or more, like you can go over, you can pay 3 and a white and tap this to create a token that is a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except the copy is legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. Which I think is an interesting effect. So you can copy any artifact. That artifact can be a creature, or any enchantment. That enchantment can also be a creature. But if you want to copy a creature, it has to be an artifact or enchantment. So we can turn our Darksteel Colossus Optimus Prime into a legendary Darksteel Colossus Optimus Prime. Although at that point, that's like super late in the game, so who knows? I mean, Darksteel Colossus by himself is just an aspirational card if you don't have any recursion. And then Cybertron from the Secret Lair is our command tower. Ameria the Sky Ruin, because we are in mono white, so we can bring stuff. But we have to have 7 planes, so this is like a turn 8 thing, since we probably won't have anything that'll let us put more lands into play. But, you know, low power deck, 8 turns. It's aspirational. Minas Tirith, you can draw a card if you attack with at least 2 creatures. Mistveiled Plains can put stuff back on the bottom of our deck. Myriad Landscape to get more planes out of our deck. See, this is how we get it slightly sooner, as long as we don't mind doing nothing else. Nykthos to give us mana equal to our devotion. And then now we're going to go see a bunch of different planes, because I put like 1 copy of a bunch of different planes. So this is Cybertron from the Secret Lair. This is from another Secret Lair. This is that 80s vector vibe. This is from some Japanese Secret Lair. The colors are very Autobot, with the red and the white and the blue. And then this is Theros Beyond Death Plains. This is Streets of New Capenna, Dominaria United, Unfinity, Brothers War, also Brothers War, Fallout, Aether Drift, Final Fantasy. This is specifically 15. Edge of Eternities. So yeah, that's everything that's currently in the deck. So what do we want to fill out the other 71 spots? We have 7 creatures, so it's good that we have it like this, because we're not likely to put in a whole lot more instants and sorceries. I think that's a failing on my part, that I don't play a whole lot of instants and sorceries. I just don't care enough. So we want artifacts, maybe ways to sacrifice artifacts so we can get them into our discard pile more. I am going to take a look at EDHREC for ideas. Artifact creature Esper Sentinel. Yep, no, getting that thing back. That's funny. Because you know people are going to remove this. Ancient Den is an interesting thing, because it's an artifact land. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back here. Is there... There isn't really a different land. Oh, I actually didn't do one of each. I did 1, 3, 10 of this one, because they're only 49 cents. 3 of this one. 3 of that one, and 1 of this one. And 3 of this one. Okay, that's what I did there. I wasn't even looking at the numbers. We can do 38 land, since that's the current recommended number. And it is an artifact. Now, if we can, we should look for ways to sacrifice artifacts, because then we can always get it back with Ratchet. Well, not always, but you know. not Scrap Trawler, but the other ones. The other three. I'll look them up really quick. But we do want Boots. We do want Mirror Retriever. Sure Greaves. Though the problem with all of this stuff is that I think when they convert, the equipment might fall off. So I'm not sure I care that much. Okay, this doesn't explain convert, but does a different version of it explain convert? No. That doesn't explain convert. So convert, despite being a completely different word, works exactly like transform. That makes sense since it's the exact same darn thing. We're not inventors fairing. This deck ain't that special. If Circuit Mender was in the opposite direction where you drew the card first, I want the ETB draw card. Some of this really is just, this is a garbage card, put it in your deck. Unwinding Clock, I get it. Untap all artifacts you control during each other player's untap step. I mean, if we're going to go into it. We could do the Monument. Wormcoil Engine. I get it. Especially since it has lifelink. We're not one-ringing. Okay, that was everything. But first I'm going to go over here. See if there are any white cards with mono white cards with transform. Or should I say mono white creatures? You know, we're just going to go over here. MTG, transform, and equipment. Oh. Okay. Well, this is from MTG Salvation, so I'll trust them. It does not remove ores or equipment. Good to know. So now we can go back and put those things. Well, we can, but maybe we don't want to. Maybe I want to be different. I do want the Unwinding Clock, because I think we're going to go all or almost all artifact creatures. Because, I mean, it's a Transformers, and that's who they have. We can BS why they're in the deck. Although maybe the Phyrexians should be saved for the Decepticons, just kind of on theme. Like other things, I don't mind being in both. Like this Quick Welder, if there's a mono, but there's not a mono white Decepticon. I'm just saying, like, if there was, or the Ethereum Sculptor, which I think is still an artifact creature. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, sorry. So even though I used the makes them look evil arts, I'm still going to try to stay Autobot-y. What was I going to look up? Oh. Is permanent O sacrifice an artifact? I learned this one. Or sacrifice another artifact. Just in case. There's the Arcbound stuff. The Duskro's Reliquary. I'm more looking for repeatable, so the Arcbound one might be good. Especially since it's not tap and it doesn't cost anything. We love our sack outlets. Although, we should do this. Or we at least look for different printings. Wow, for $100. Hey, look, it's Beast Wars. I think that's the one we're going with. Oswald Fiddlebender. Krark Clan Ironworks it costs 4 to bring in. That might be the way to go. Let's see what other printings we got. You know what? It's funny that the Mystery Booster 2 version is the second cheapest. This is a World Champion. It is the cheapest, and I don't mind gold border cards. Although I feel like this is a misrepresentation because I could have swore the gold border decks had different shaped corners. But whatever. Now I'm going to check something. This. First, I want to see if this works at all. So there's only 240, so this won't be too long. This might be a longer series than I anticipate just because me looking through this. But we'll see. I mean, we'll want... Like, we could put on all these skull bombs. But they don't really look the right part. Boombox is funny for Blaster, just because it's, you know, Boombox. Ha ha ha, funny pun. I don't think we're putting charge counters on anything. That does, though the charge counters does remind me that I want to look at spaceships because, you know, Transformers had spaceships. that's basically it. Oh, expedition map actually. I get it. There's not a whole lot that are. They're not really very Transformer-y, but they are easy to get back, and they can get our, and we can use it over and over again to get our 7 non-planes. What's the least expensive? It's this one from Modern Masters 2. But it has human hands on it. How dare it? We'll do this one. Ghost Vacuum. The Ginger Brute. Idol of Oblivion. I don't think we're making that many tokens. Oh, actually the Lotus Ring I like. Changing how I'm sitting, don't mind me. Because then we can put it on our creatures, sacrifice them for mana. Yeah, no, I like that. Although, we gotta be careful because we might end up accidentally putting an infinite combo in our deck. We'll do this one. Although, no, it does equip for 3, so never mind. Still, I like it. Oh, of course, our Mind Stone already. I've seen Mishra's Bauble on Arena so many times, it's weird. I'm like, why? Why? I guess they plan on having, like, things that cast artifacts from their discard pile in their deck, but it's still weird to me. Maybe I'm too smooth-brained. If anybody else thinks it don't make sense, because you sacrifice it, you look at the top card of another player's library, and you draw a card at the beginning of the next turn. Or the next turn's upkeep. Like, it's either garbage or too sweaty, you know what I mean? There's the Living Weapons. If Mortar Pod did more damage, it would actually be really cool. The Nutrient Block. It's indestructible food. That's... And then you can sacrifice... You know, it has the food text. And then when you do sacrifice it, you draw a card. Actually... I do kind of like that, but again, I'd rather find one that drew a card on entry. If we could give the Manticores haste, that would be kind of funny. Because we would just sacrifice them instead of paying their cost. Although I guess that doesn't really help. Yeah, a lot of this is just stuff I don't naturally do. There's world map that we can get planes or one of our 7 other ones. Hey, people who play Final Fantasy, which world map is this? I recognize it. Actually, it tells us which game it is from down here. It's the very first one. So this is actually fine. It goes to our hand. So remember, this isn't ramp. It is, well, it's basic. It is a tutor, but that like it's card draw. So how much more? We have 80 cards. We have 10 creatures. And this is whenever you gain life. So you may convert Ratchet. So that kind of only pulls one thing back, I think. If you gain life in more than one instance, I'm not entirely sure. But you can flip them back and forth by sacrificing stuff, I suppose. Whoops. So we have, let's see, where is it? We have the Mirror Retriever, but we don't have the other two. The text we're looking for, return another target artifact, graveyard to hand. So, but I think it's Junk Diver, and work. Shop assistant. There. Because they all have, well, the Mirror Retriever is one cheaper, so that technically makes it the best one. But they all have the text of, whoops, whenever they die, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand so you can cast it again. So now we look up here. We're still on 2. Then we can go up here. We can go over here and see what kind of almost included combos we have. That's a nice feature. This is infinite card draw, but it does cost 3 cards. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. They want Scrap Trawler specifically. Which I don't like. Although it does say another. I think that's yeah, I kind of get what they're going with here. Scrap Trawler does say another. And this, oh, this has mirror works. What does this do? Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, put a token that's a copy of that artifact onto the battlefield. Okay. And then this one's Mycosynth Golem because it has affinity for artifacts. And then it gives it gives all of our stuff affinity for artifacts. I'm going to put that into the deck. Weird how that made it bigger. What is this? Glaring Fleshraker? Well, that's an Eldrazi, so we're not messing with that. Sensei's Divining Top again. We're still not doing the Fleshraker. We're not bringing Gandalf into this, although that would be a funny crossover. Transformers Lord of the Rings. Together Forever. Oh. So cast an artifact by paying 1. So you need something that comes into play with a +1/+1 counter. It is a 2-card infinite. Well, it's a 3-card infinite. I understand. I don't know if this deck needs to go that hard. I am thinking about the top just for the part where... but let's see how that affected our bracket. We're still 2, so that's fine. I'm going to find that creature. The Golem. I don't think it got like any sweet reprints. Oh, it did. It got this. It's in a secret layer for $45. Well, that's not that much more than the original, so sure, why not? That is. This does look like the Duplo Transformers line a bit, you know. Where they shoved the GoBots into. We definitely want at least 7 more creatures. So we're going to go here. We're going to go here. I'm going to specifically ask for creatures this time, though. I'm going to add Scrap Trawler just because I want to see... Okay. Okay, good. Scrap Trawler didn't mess with our bracket. Because we... Like, whatever nonsense I'm doing, I do not want it to be bracket 3. It's going to get that version. Oh, we're at 15 creatures. Oh, it says I... Oh, that's my fault. I added one after changing it. That's funny when you're dumb. Artifact Creature Angel. Circuit Mender. Like I said, if it went the other way... Bottle Gnomes are kind of cheap. Like, they cost 3, though, and then you sacrifice them for 3 life. I'd rather sacrifice it to draw a card. Oh, Sir Ginger Meal Ender. This is definitely some Rock Lords level nonsense. If you've not seen GoBots Battle of the Rock Lords, go watch GoBots Battle of the Rock Lords. It is dumb. Walking Ballista. And we're not... Joyer is familiar, of course, because it makes our historic stuff cost less. Sometimes I forget that's a card. We're going to go with the original, even though it's more expensive. It's Archimedes from... is it Jason and the Argonauts? One of them old movies about myths and stuff. Oh yeah, Steel Seraph. The beginning of combat on your turn, target creature control gets flying, vigilance, or lifelink until end of turn. And it itself has flying, and it can either cost 6 or 3. In your graveyard, you have to gain 6 life to get it back, and you get this version. But you can pay it for 3. Like a 3/3 that still has this text, that's fine. Oh wait, do this. Since since we're not going to be redoing the printing at the end of this. I understand. She does gain us life at the end of our turn if we gained at least 3 life. And the Autobots do get help from humans sometimes. I'm fine with that. But I'm gonna. She's a rare, so I'm gonna check her printings. Guided by the light. So we are at 88. We still kind of want 2 more creatures. I am going to check for historic spells over here. Almost knocked over a jug of water that the lid was on, so it would have merely been loud. That's on me. Jeez, if Nature's Self-Replicator didn't cost 5 to start with, the Scourge of Krug is mildly interesting because it feels like it would be in the Decepticon deck, especially after those movies. Historic spells have Convoke, Investigate. Okay, none of that was interesting. I'm going to double back onto... Didn't even need to type spell, and I still decided to type it and then type it wrong. Non-artifact spells have improvise that don't matter. Karn does give us a lot of upkeep, or a lot of mana, which actually might be good. Excuse me. Boy, he looks super dumb, doesn't he? So we're going to do this one. Put that in. Non-artifact spells cost 1 more to cast, but we do have instants and sorceries in this deck. I am going to go over here because just for something in the instants and sorcery section, just to kind of check what they care about. Oh, that is taking a minute, isn't it? How about instants? Okay, it's not my internet. I went over here because that was worrying me. But this just means that Scryfall is having a problem? I'm going to check some messages, give that a second. Okay. Small set. I can understand the Enlightened Tutor. Oh, Metalcraft. I should just look up that section. I understand all of that. Okay, let's go to sorceries now. Oh. I understand. Oh, destroy all non-artifact creatures, and it has improvise. Okay, yeah, nope. But it's called Organic Extinction, so this is definitely going into a Decepticon deck that has white in it, which basically means Soundwave and Megatron are the only two decks that are going to have that. One more creature minimum. I should say. At least, although 2 more if I wanted to have 20 artifact creatures besides my commander. Because one of these isn't an artifact, and I just realized that. So, ooh, okay, yeah, no, that's an idea. 2 more artifact creatures, and then 4 more non-artifact creatures. I already kind of know what I want. I kind of already know the kind of garbage I'm going to put into the rest of this deck. And it looks like I might only be doing 2 decks today, if the next one takes as long as this one. But I'm honestly fine with that, because I feel like with a lot of these post 32 ones that I've done, I've like had a lot of the decks already pre-built. So you got to see less of the process. Because sometimes, like, I like putting in the obvious stapley cards just to show how little room there is if you use staples for anything else. But I also like showing my process. So, even if the deck is dumb, or even especially if the deck is dumb. So we're putting in monologue tax. We are putting in trouble in pairs. We're putting in Mengar the Diplomat as the second of 5 humans. Is that what it was called? Metalcraft? I already forgot. Yep, Metalcraft. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, no. Tap target creature, Metalcraft, if you control, exile. Okay, yep, no. This is... Oh, but we got to go with this version. And you could say it sounds like a villainous thing to do, but Dispatch is the name of one of Cyan, or Cayenne, if you prefer that pronunciation, from Final Fantasy VI. It's the name of one of his sword arts. And this one isn't a game changer. And it's also proxy amount of money, but let's put it in the deck. Let's find a version that doesn't make it look obviously evil. If we are going to proxy it anyway, we're going all in. I mean, it's a monocolor deck, so technically this is absolutely unnecessary of a card. I like Rusted Relic on principle. I wish it cost less. Like, if Rusted Relic cost 3 and it was a 5/5 if you controlled 3 or more artifacts. The thing is that it itself is an artifact, so you only need 2 others. That's the funny thing about it. Create new category. Create new category. There we go. Just shout it from the heavens. Proxy this. So I still want 5 more creatures. We have 6 spots left. We're going to look at creatures again. No, we're still not Oswald Fiddlebendering. Although I guess technically, yeah, he can be one of he can be one of our human friends. We're not doing any shenanigans with him that I know of. Because shenanigans revolves around actually like knowing or carrying. Well, I guess Ratchet is built-in shenanigans, and I'm not putting in any of my armors or stuff. We're just doing things straight up. Yeah, I didn't put them in, right? I'd have to go look. I do like this. But we're just doing regular AFR. So that's 3 humans, if I'm not mistaken. Leonin Elders. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing Soul Warden. Original Bottle Gnomes. Oh, I just realized that this is actually really good. Each player who has cast a non-artifact spell this turn can't cast additional non-artifact spells. That's a worthy stacks piece. I thought it said something else. Oh, and this is even more robotic. So there we go. And I just remembered that there are other kinds of robotic life in the universe other than Transformers. Because they don't transform. If you ever watched the 1980s movie, which is very good and very bad at the same time, you're like, wow, Earth feels unique with having organic life. The Wanderglyph is mildly interesting. Okay, so we have 3 humans out of 5. Oh, so the next 3 things are going to be humans. Yeah, because we have Hollybutt up there, Oswald, and there was something else in here. Oh, Mengar the Diplomat. Sweet. Okay, so over here. I'm looking for whenever a player first. No. Oh, whenever a player searches their library. No, I think that's whenever an opponent, obviously. But that'll be one of them. Yeah, so 2 more humans. I know how to count. Yeah, this archivist. So let's back up and see if there are other printings. We'll go with this one. So 1 more. Moving my leg, changing how I'm sitting again. Huh. Wizened Mentor is a neat card, but don't really do anything in this deck. Like, the Autobots making zombies is just weird. We're going to go back to categories. going to put both of these in the draw section, because this ain't ramp. And in fact, I'm going to find the other one, because I know they put it in the ramp section. Yep, it goes into the hand, not on the battlefield. That's not ramp. And we don't have... Oh, we do have a tutor section. So you know what? You know, we're gonna put them in the tutor section, because that is technically more accurate. So let's find the other one. We have 20 pieces of ramp. Though anything after 3, I don't really count. And then anything that's situational, like the monologue text, you don't really have to count. But it does make me feel like I can remove the Iron Crag. Everything else in that section can stay. Sack outlet, yeah. And in fact, I'm going to put Krark Clan Ironworks. I put that in the deck, right? Yep, there it is. Let's see. Anything else? Was there anything else that we had that I could sacrifice an artifact for? Sacrifice an artifact. I like how you can sacrifice Krark to Krark. Yep, that's the protection section. I did not put any of that stuff in here. There's the finisher. That has counters. Yeah. An almost respectable card draw section. Although, I guess you're more likely to the -5 than the -10. But it does do a lot of things. Okay, oh, that's right. Basics all went to their own thing. And then 8 other lands. Oh, wow, that's funny. I am going to give the humans their own section. Well, maybe not. Halia, Mangara, the Archivist. I'm just looking for my humans really quick. And Oswald. So one more. Yep, one more. And then one more of another type. Or one more artifact creature. They don't have to be humans, they're just not, you know, robots or artifact creatures. I'm going to look at whenever I play her again, because I don't really think I... Casts a white spell, plays a white spell, cycles a card, plays a spell, discards a card, Inklings can't attack us, non-creature spells cost 1 more, we're not dealing with any of that nonsense. Riversong's Diary. Rug of Smothering is a funny card, but we're not putting it in this one. Thought Prison, Throne of Bone. Zenith Chronicle is kind of funny because we're not. Wait, T land. I just remembered something existed. Yeah, this thing. For each color among monocolored permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. That doesn't... I just realized that doesn't do anything in a monocolored deck. So I put it in another deck. I don't remember which one that was, but it should probably come out, because I think that was only a 1-color deck. Because it's for each color. So I made a mistake in another video, and I don't know which one it was. Oh, I think I know which one it was. It was one of the monocolor pickup weeks, so I'll do that between episodes. Anyway, I only need to put 4 more cards in this thing. 1 more non-robot, just because that's what I feel like doing. And 1 more artifact creature. T creature O artifact minus T artifact. So how many things? 131. We're just going to look through 131 things. That can grab us an artifact. Oh, the splicers, yeah. Do. Oh, Cavalier of Dawn. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller gets a golem. And then when it dies, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. That's mildly interesting. But I do want something more humanoid. There is Delivery Moogle. You know what? I said I wasn't going to do it, but we're gonna do Gandalf the White. There we go. Because he lets us cast our artifact spells as though they had flash. And we get this double trigger thing that probably will never ever matter. But that is a fun little cameo. So now we want 1 more pure creature. So basically same parameters, but we remove the minus sign from here. There's the Ancient Stone Idol. There's all the Arcbounds again. But oh, we're nearing. Oh no, we just passed it. Thankfully, the Clockwork section was very small under our parameters. There's Cyberman Patrol and Cyberman Squadron. Forgot about them. How are we on? On non-legendary things. I might take out the Steel Seraph. Which is funny because we don't have, other than this, we don't have a whole lot of ways of giving our stuff lifelink. And we don't even have have a way to get this back if it goes away. We don't have any way to make Ratchet bigger. Oh, Gandalf actually works with Sir Ginger. That's funny. Okay, that is mildly funny that we did all of this, and I didn't bother doing a whole lot to make oh, that reminds me. Edit category. We do not count that in the price. That. Oh no, we have the Aether Spark to give them more power. We do have a couple other things with lifelink, and this gives us life in bursts of 1. That also gives us lives in bursts of 1. So yeah, we don't want to get rid of the Steel Seraph. Sack outlets are fine. I could remove another piece of ramp. I like this Art of the Mox Opal because it does feel very Cybertronian power crystal. We could get rid of the Lotus Ring. I think I'll get rid of the Felwar Stone actually. And I know that puts in more creatures than I was intending, but that's fine because that's more creatures. Now we have 26 creatures. Almost forgot to add it. We're not even going to look at more creatures because that's the best of that. Then we're going to go T space. Can I just do that? Okay, good. So we can put in 2 more things, unless we want to take more stuff out. Though honestly, from the spaceships, the only things we really want are the Flying 10-10 Trample. Although it says Extinguisher, this definitely feels more like Decepticon, but this feels very Autobot. So we will do that. This deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature, but it also says kill ship. Oh, this is a flying 3/5 lifelinker if you get the things on it. This gives our tapped legendary creatures indestructible. It'll also let us tutor up a legendary creature. Sure, let's grab this. So yeah, no, that's this deck. And that took an hour and 15 minutes to put together. So we might just be doing white today. Oh, I'm going to check a message really quick. Then go back here. And I altered every image to the way I liked it, I think. Yeah, some things don't exactly have a whole lot of options. Yep, that's fine. So, yep, no, I like what's here. So that's this. And now we'll do on the Prowl. So let's see what's different in here. So we got Prowl. We said what he did earlier. We got the Anthem. We got probably the exact same basics. We got the Liberator. We got the Shimmer Mirror. Ratchet's in here too, just in case. But since he's not the commander, we're not going to care as much. We got all of those lands. We're not going to put in the other land because we don't care. Then we have Optimus Prime over here. The same pieces of removal, it looks like. And the same pieces of ramp. Whenever he attacks. Okay, and then on the back side. And then whenever another creature or vehicle enters under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on him. And if it's the second time that's happened, you convert him. So it looks like... oh, and we also have these same 3 cards. Yep. So I think I'm going to, ahead of time, I'm going to take out the Felwar Stone. And the Iron Crag. But leave everything else. We are going to put some things that were in the other one. We're going to have some of the same human friends. So we want Mangara. Mangara the Diplomat. Who I realize I didn't change his printing on the other one. We could make it this guy. There we go. I'm not going to bother fixing it on the other one because we've eaten up a lot of time. Then this is just our usual mono white stuff. Monologue tags. Her. You go into the draw section, which is right here, right next to where you were. Oswald Fiddlebender is fine. Because maybe we still want to use his ability. Sorry, I'm... to sacrifice some artifact we don't need to get some other artifacts. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, Archivist. And sorry, who was the other one? Oh, Gandalf. Yeah, sure. Gandalf the White, right? Yep. So that's my 5 human friends. I'm actually just going to call them the 5 human friends in this one. Oh, and you know what? I went all the way here. So let's find Mangara. Ding. Okay. That didn't take but a second. So that's 1, 2, 3. Who am I looking for? Archivist. There we go. Did it for this one, not for the other one. Don't question me. So now we are up to 76. I think I'm gonna get those 3 those recursion guys again. Which we can just go up here, go down here. I'm probably gonna grab the spaceships too. Well, I'm just going to call spaceships. So this section, select all. This section, select all. Copy the card names only. What's funny is that spaceship I think can be one word. I just felt like spelling it as two words. Oh, it's spacecraft. That's why. That's probably why I have a hard time finding it sometimes, because I don't know what I'm talking about when I type words in. So we got that. And then here. There we go. Oh, and that getting this thing up to 7 especially helps this deck because our commander wants to attack. Let's go to our recursion section. All printings. We'll go to Kaladesh. Scrap trawler can be. I kind of want to do that one where it's a schematic. The junk diver. The mirror retriever. Come here. There we go. Now we're up to 82. Let's go to types. I do want at least 4 more creatures. What's the other anthem we had over here? Sorry. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, actually, the Cyberman Patrol plus these things. Although it says dies and they're being exiled, so never mind. Wait, no, you sacrifice them. Yeah, so these things plus the Cyberman Patrol is actually nice. Oh, Mycosynth Golem, I think we still want that. And Mox Opal just to dab on the haters. Okay. CYBRM. Cyberman Patrol. CYBERM. Cybermen Squadron. Moxie O. Then let's change their versions. Do that again. Do not pay money for this unless you're incredibly wealthy or it's like a charity event. Although you should still be like somewhat wealthy. Or yeah, it's a charity event. Or it's like when Post Malone bought the One Ring, 1 of 1, off of that guy. Like, yeah, wealthy and like you buying it from someone enriches their life. That's cool. I might want to look at other spacecraft too, just to do that again. We'll go to type again. We're at 18. I want at least 2 more. And I can't think of anything else from the other deck that I want to bring over here. Because like I said, I do want it to be kind of different. Exile. I'm going to look up a series of words. Nope, I don't think that's going to be put into exile. Nope. Whenever and exile. How about when? Oh, there's a space right here. That was messing me up. Whenever a land comes into the battlefield under your control, you may exile another target line permanent other than Admonition Angel. Oh, and then when it leaves, you can do stuff. That's... Oh, whenever another player casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. I like that. Oh, wow, this is just another Prowl, isn't it? I like this. I'm glad I looked up that series of words. So we want one of this. Pay war line, sacrifice, look at the time. Nope. Whenever, no. Oh, whenever you cycle or another card. Okay, that's cycle. That's cycles. No. That's annihilation. Okay, there's a specific card that I don't remember, but I hope I see it. Nope. No. No. Actually, wait. Well, if we were doing discard stuff, I gotta remember this. That's cool as heck. Currency converter, no. 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 I just realized that I should probably put the word cast into the parameters. So the aerial extortionist stays. So now we go to Dream Thief's Bandana. Okay, that's stealing. That is not a real thing. Whenever a equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by one or more creatures, you may exile one of those creatures. Oh, and then they can't cast. I don't like that. That's the opposite of what I want. Nope. This is an invasion. That isn't exactly 2 colors. That's mildly funny. Nope. Knowledge pool is not anything that we want to do. Okay, that's not what we're going for. As long as our okay. Nope, that's hideaway. Well, hey, look, another thing that imprints a spell. I mean, it's a little bit more work, but that's neat. Nope. Oh, we are just ignoring. Ooh. Whenever we cast a legendary spell, we get to draw a card once a turn. Well, we don't have a deck full of legendary stuff. Okay, that was the end of that. So there's another series of words that I see in red a lot, but I don't know if I've seen it in white. Anywhere other than their hand. You're a game changer, right? Yeah, you better be a game changer, you jerk that nobody likes. Although this is funny for multiple reasons, because it does effectively remove them from the game forever if Dryneth Magistrate is on the field. So we are at 86. We're at 19 creatures. Where is... So did that one go in card to draw? No. Did it go into removal? Yes, it did. So we're going to change... Because Oswald isn't even a human, but it... Because he's a gnome. But I do find it funny that to the Autobots, he's just a short human with funny ears. So we're just going to call it Friends. And now there's 6 of them instead of 5 because they all fit. Although actually I would, at this point I think I'll just get rid of Oswald. Because that was definitely more of a Ratchet thing. With the possibility of returning stuff. So now we're back down to 18, right? Yep. So at least 2, maybe some more. Let's look at the spaceships again. So we got that. That's that and that I feel are Decepticon. Oh, the rescue skiff. It costs 6, but when it enters the battlefield, return target creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sure. I don't think it has... Nope. Okay. Oh, that's definitely something that could have gone in Ratchet's deck for theming, because that's like, that would be Ratchet's spaceship. But, I really don't want to mess with that deck anymore. The Eternity Elevator definitely could go in the Decepticons deck, because that really does give the same vibe as their space elevator. Although their space bridge, I'm sorry, but that was a teleporter, not a thing that goes into space. But we're not messing with the Eternity Elevator, for the record. So that's everything there. So let's grab you. We have 3 spaceships over here. Esper Sentinel again anyway. I just read a certain part of the Panharmonicon that made me go, oh. If an artifact or creature entering, it doesn't, this is symmetrical. Oh no, it's a permanent we control. So that part's not symmetrical, but if it's anybody's entering, the thing is that that's entering, and this is a cast. So that don't count. What would count is the big chair. And what's also funny is that the big chair could have gone in Ratchet's deck too, and we're doing this nonsense printing. I understand Cloud Key because it's another make stuff cost less, but I think we're fine with the direction I went. Although having a static cost reducer is better than having a mana rock, because the static reducer reduces everything, and the mana rock works once. Anyway, we're going to creature. I have it's a lot of generic stuff because we don't really get a whole lot of we don't get a whole lot of direction with, yeah, of course. So I don't know why you'd want to make this guy bracket 3. If I'm being quite honest. Yeah, the Phyrexians are Decepticons. They're not going in the Autobot decks. That was not super helpful. Do we have any combos I want to finish? We could Sensei Divining Top. For infinite card draw. We're not Blightsteel Colossus Sign. Oh, the Stuffy Doll. Yeah. The thing is that you'd have that takes out one person. And then you'd have to find a way to get rid of it and bring it back. And it really doesn't. The Stuffy Doll feels like it just doesn't feel like it belongs in my deck. Oh, the Radiant Lotus. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm surprised that wasn't mentioned in the other list. Infinite colorless mana. I get it. But we're not crarking this one. Phyrexian Vindicator again goes in a different deck. Though that since like I said, Phyrexians are Decepticons, but that is so you're not going to see that in this Transformer series because I said this was an Autobot ship. But that's another thing because the damage gets prevented and then it deals that much damage somewhere else. I like how it says near infinite, but it's like it's 100. The interesting thing, though, is that you can put lifelink on the Phyrexian Vindicator or the Stuffy Doll or the Brash Taunter if your deck has red in it to gain 100 life as well when you redirect the damage. So we're at 88. Sometimes I have to remind myself of where we are. We do have our minimum number of creatures. So that makes me happy, so I don't have to look at creatures anymore. Hey, EDH Rec, what do you think about other card types? The Boots, the Greaves. We could go that direction with this one. How about some enchantments? Tithe, Companion, Land Tax, Teleportation Circle. Oh, Ghostly Prison. We didn't put that in the other one either. I'm probably going to dodge... even though I feel like it's something that, like, this is a little bit of extra tax, I'm going to dodge it this time. Blind Obedience. The phrase, that is definitely more Decepticon. Any Planeswalkers? Oh, the Eternal Wanderer. How about some sorceries? Yeah. These two I understand. And then instants? Oh, the one with Metalcraft. T instant O Metalcraft O exile. Oh, it's because I did this. Dispatch. There we go. In the other episodes, I'm going to have to remember that card exists. I could open this up to more non-artifact creatures, and I probably should. But, especially since I have 3 whole spaceships in here. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to protect Prowl with... I'm going to do my generic protection. T, equipment, O, hexproof. So we want the Champion's Helm. We want the boots. We also want the Shadow Spear to make stuff not have hexproof. Then let's make him indestructible with the Darksteel Plate, or perhaps the Mithril Coat, the Hammer of Nizan, but not Cauldron Complete. That's a Phyrexian. And then let's also give him Shroud. With the Greaves, the costume, the cloak, but also be blocked. Make him an assassin. Psychic paper. Hey, look, it's Prowl's helm. But not the Wrecking Ball arm. We're going to put all of our evasion into the protection section. Because that's the thing that makes sense to me. Oh, we went up to 102 because of that. think I'm actually going to take out the Shroud items. This one. Not all of them, but that one. We'll leave the cloak. And we're taking out, is it the Greaves? Yeah, we'll take out the, no, the Greaves give haste. So that got rid of one, because that can't be blocked. Oh, that's also Shroud and can't be blocked. Oh, it's Shroud until end of turn. Oh wait, no, that can't be blocked. That's the more important section. That gives haste. That gives Shroud and can't be blocked. I'll go through that whole section and fix their things in a second. I'm also tempted to get rid of this whole section. Teleportation circle was actually a funny thing that I saw to put in. And I know, like, Cybermen are bad guys, or at least their leaders are, but they do just kind of remind me of generic, like, robots. Like how G.I. Joe has just generic soldiers. Whenever a creature with myriad attacks for each opponent other than the defending player, you may create a token that's a copy of that creature that's tapped and attacking. Oh, it is exile at the end of combat. Okay, so that the thing I was right the first time. So you know what? Let's take out all of these from this one. Just to put a little bit more difference between the two decks. I know that means I now have 2 more spots again. And also, we're down to 16 creatures, which means we're only going to go up to 18 creatures. It is funny how the Roaming Throne will only copy him and Ratchet. I really don't consider this a protection piece. I'm not entirely like, I might just be being pedantic, but casting at flash doesn't count as protection to me. Now where did I... There we go. Going back here just in case they recommend something that I care about. I could just end up throwing 2 creatures in the deck that have mana value 2 and draw me a card. Because I'm... But no, I'm going to take it a little bit more seriously than that. That's mildly funny that we get to draw a card for our CRU equipment. 1, 2, 14. Those are not vehicles. 14, 15, 16 if we cast them for their backside. Yeah, SRAM's actually funny as heck, isn't he? Yeah. It's like not that much, but it's still a weirdly non-zero amount. We have 6 friends again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them will draw us a card. Or theoretically draw us a card. So that's this one. I think I'm still going to keep the Cybermen Squadron. Oh, see, now that's another interesting interaction. Cybermen Squadron, Rescue Skiff, when they come in, they'll be tapped and attacking but won't be creatures because they won't have the counters on them. So that's weird. But you'll get 3 instances of returning target creature or enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. Because that one's not legendary. The other 2 are legendary spacecraft. I'm just looking around really quick. The Cybermen Patrol is not legendary. The Roaming Throne is not legendary. The Roaming Throne could get Ratchet a bunch. If Ratchet is out at the same time. Categories, type. Yeah, we only have, oh wow, we only have 17 creatures. I'm mostly fine with that because our thing is just attacking with Prowl and being a jerk and drawing cards. This is obviously not a very good deck, but it's the deck I built, so I'm fine with that. We could take out another piece of ramp, but I'm fine with all of my ramp for what it's worth. And that... yeah, no, that's it. That's it for this one. Oh, nope, I'm on 99 again. What happened? Hold on. Did something fall out, or am I bad at math? Mirror Retriever, Drunk Dyer, Extract, oh, Oh, did it take itself back out? Hold on. That would be funny. So now let's go back down there. Oh, no, it did not. We are going to go through this for all of its alternate versions. Cartoon reference. That's it for that. The cloak. I don't really like these versions, but I feel like that kind of fits. I do like that frame. Go over here for that. We'll do that. because they do, again, they do have human friends. The Swifty boots. I know there was a version that was a blueprint. Don't think you have any. Nope, you just have that. Psychic paper. I know that one doesn't. Prowler's helm. Yep. Anything that looks more or less like a robot. Not even entirely sure. Like, that is a lot of, oh, what are they called? Cleats. Oh, cartoon reference. We should do that with the other one. Slightly fancier. Is there anything else in there? Nope. Oh, 17, 18. Yeah, we still need one more creature because I am silly and don't know how to count. We're also catching other frames I forgot to change. I do like the spaceship in the back. Anyway, so go back to this, looking at creatures. Weathered Wayfarer can at least grab us lands. It does cost... Just double checking this specific word on creatures. What does this do? That's mildly interesting, but that is the Necron are very Decepticon as well. Print. That doesn't really help me. I think just to save me time and brain, we're just putting Oswald back in. And Prowl has 7 friends where Ratchet has only 5. And I believe We are already on the correct version because we don't want the booked version. Yep. Okay. We don't really have the same way to get stuff back, so we are playing a little bit more fast and loose. But what's cool is that with Cyberman Squadron, we can make a copy of something and sacrifice it with Oswald before its own sacrifice trigger happens. It's fiddly timing, but that at least is still something we can do. So that's that deck. I feel they are... Ow. They are different enough. So... Oh, that's mildly interesting. Skyfire... I think that's his name. I'm just going to pull the decks up. Ding. Ding. And ding. Skyfire is Jetfire. His alternate name was Skyfire. And his lore that I do know, because it was in the original cartoon, is that he used to be friends with Starscream. Poor guy. He is... Because Starscream was always toxic. But in the cartoon, he got frozen in like Antarctica or somewhere. And when they dig him out, he didn't... I guess he got frozen before the Autobots Decepticon split, even though that's weird. I don't know. I don't remember all of his stuff. But like, he joins the Autobots because he's like, Starscream, you're a jerk and a bad friend. And then... Oh, we are at 73 on this one. So, but we're not doing this one. Next time, we will be doing this one. Then Blitzwing, that I called Blitzkrieg. And Starscream. It's called Seek and Destroy as both a music reference and the fact that he's a leader of a group of plain Decepticons called the Seekers. Which I think Jetfire used to be a Seeker because he's also a plane, if we flip him over. So, I'll see you next time.